I think they're helpful.
Well, they probably are. Especially the one looking out the nose ought to be helpful.
Oh yeah, this one. I don't think that one's on.
All right.
County traffic 581 Kilo, the left downwind runway 24, Percy County traffic.
All right, cool.
We should be good to go. And make your announcement.
Percy County 542 Kilo.
Hey, wait.
Entering left downwind for runway 24, Percy County.
Percy County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is taking off runway 24.
And don't ride the brakes, please.
I'm not touching.
Okay. Use them if you need them. But, you know.
That's good to know.
And we'll just swing out and go.
Airspeed's alive, flaps up.
Okay, you got 2,300 RPM.
County traffic 581 Kilo, turning left base runway 2.
Airspeed's alive, we're in good shape.
855.
Tiny bit of right foot. Hardly enough to notice you did it, but a tiny bit.
Percy County traffic 581 Kilo, turning final runway 24, touch and go, Percy County traffic.
Percy County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning crosswind, Percy County. Percy County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning downwind for runway 24, Percy County.
Now work on altitude, distances to the runway. You know, think about the big picture here. What's going on with your plane? Where is it going? Is that where you want it to go? See anything going on you don't like? Think about what you can do to fix it.
Person County Traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
For your power.
Hornet traffic.
Think of, you got carb heat, power, and flaps.
Shoot.
Now we're out a little bit wide, but we're going too fast, so that's going to work. Keep turning.
Okay.
Remember, you got a flop box here, so carb heat all the way out. Power back to 17.
5 kilos, clear of runway 24.
10 degrees flaps. Now, keep your nose down. Got to control pitch, and aim for the point you want to land as you come around this turn.
Person County Traffic 581 Kilo, left downwind, runway 24, Person County Traffic.
Make your turn.
Person
Go ahead.
County Traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
Okay, so you're high. So we got to get the nose coming down to aim at the 1,000-foot point. All right. If you aim and the nose, everything's rising, you're not going to get there. You may have tons of speed, but you're going to hit the ground. So what you want to do is create an angle that you can sight that you're going to hit the 1,000-foot point, and it's staying still. The far end's going up. The end closest to you is coming towards you. Not up, but towards you.
Right.
All right, so now we're going a little bit fast. We've got to get slowed down. You also got the nose too far. Everything's rising again. Right there. Nose up a tiny bit more. Still got to get slowed down just a little bit more.
More flaps?
Well, you're letting the nose bounce up and down, and that's keeping our airspeed up. So flaps coming down slowly. As they do, the nose pitches up. Don't let it, or it tries to.
Traffic 581 Kilo, turning left.
Pitch down a little bit now.
Person County Traffic.
Now, you got to watch what's happening. If you see those blocks rising, you're sinking in. But what's the airspeed doing? You got to put the whole picture together. If you get too slow, too high, now go to 3 to 4 stripes and work the nose up as you come in. Work, 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 work. Right there. Wait. Now let it down. There you go. All right.
I don't know how I saved.
Carb heat.
I don't know how I saved that landing.
Flaps.
I was all over the freaking place.
Well, you definitely, you know, how long you been married?
35 years.
You forgot what date's like.
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
Got to make a good approach if you want to make a good landing.
That's right.
Consistently. Now,
I think
you know, you can get by with it. You know, the more experience you have, the more you be off. But
Well, I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to deal with the unpredictable winds right now.
yeah, but you can't let them control you.
I know, and
Okay.
I realize that, and I think I just need to feel comfortable with them and understand them, and I feel better now that I've been through one pattern.
All right.
I know that's kind of weird.
No, I think that's fairly normal.
I just, you know, it's like every day you come out here is a little bit different.
It is. And the more you do it, the more you develop confidence. Your subconscious part of your brain develops the confidence that it can deal with all this.
Yeah. Person County Traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
But you also can't let your conscious part of your brain override everything because it's fixated on turbulence. You know, the main objective is to fly the path down to the runway. And if you bounce around in the process, so be it.
Person County Traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Person County Archer 542 Kilo is taking off runway 24, left traffic pattern, Person County.
Watch your pitch, altitude control. If you're climbing slowly, it's usually a pitch issue. And of course, it could be a balloon in the air. That was what we just hit right back there. And once you're out of it, you just make an adjustment and deal with, bring it back down. What you want to be careful about is you don't keep climbing, and also that you don't let yourself get really wide out here. Your path over the ground. Pick out something out in front of you and kind of aim towards it. Yeah, you also, good.
I've been using that blue roof. All right.
Okay, 10 degrees of flaps. That should slow you down to somewhere around 80 to 85.
Traffic, Warrior 41669er.
And then you're looking good. Don't pull up, don't pull up, don't pull up. You're doing fine without pulling up. When you pull up, you quit coming down and you get too slow. Remember, this is a
left downwind, runway 23 Hornet.
Remember, this is a ramp. Keep turning. You're going to get out really wide again.
That's Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
Good. Gotta make it come around. Otherwise, the wind's typically pushing you away from the airport on base leg. And if you're not careful, you end up on a 2-mile final and everybody else is flying a 1-mile final or less. They don't even know you're out here. You get too far out.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
This is one of those Raleigh-Durham approaches. Where we ought to be is about over this green line of trees and turning inside it. Okay, looking good. Angle looks good. Tiny bit fast, so we drop a little bit of flaps in. Don't drive, don't dive. Got to control that pitch. Aim for where you want the plane to go. Not just your eyes, but where the plane is parallel to your eyes. Now, watch that airspeed like a hawk. If it starts to fall off, power is the only way out of this. See that airspeed below 70? Bring some power in. Bring it in. You got to be careful you don't play.
Okay.
If it's serious, you got to, pull out the big guns. You see 60?
60, yep. More, okay.
Now we're back up to 70. Now we can back the power back out. Nose down first. Push your nose over. Now we can take the power back. People are timid about worrying about overdoing it. You're way ahead to overdo than underdo. Now you're way high. Look 3 stripes. Let them come to you slowly. Work it out. Stay on it. Now, if you can't see over the nose, you got to lean over and look around. You got to be able to see the ground relative to that same slant angle down. Okay?
I was thinking go around. What do you think? No?
Go ahead.
Would it have been a go around?
It could have been. It was certainly getting into that edge.
On final runway 24, Person County.
Tiny bit of right foot. Not too much. There you go.
Oh, a bit gusty. I'm not sure where that came from.
The gods are smiling on you.
I guess it thinks I'm ready.
Just look at this human. He's ready for a challenge.
Yeah. Is it windier than it was earlier?
A tiny bit. It was beginning to, it's not appreciably more than it was when I came in with Dave, but
it's not even that it's windy, it's unpredictable. That's what it is.
And that's more normal.
Okay.
I mean, in the summertime, even when there's hardly any wind blowing, the thermals come through, and the air comes from many different directions depending on its relationship to the thermal. I have multiple times seen the windsock at each end of the runway pointing exactly polar opposites, and the one in the center pointing across.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
And pitch over a bit more. You're still climbing. You're right on altitude, but you got to pitch over to quit climbing and get the power back.
Thank you. Person County 542 Kilo is clear of runway 24. Taxi back to 24, Person County.
Person County traffic 581 kilos, departing runway 24, Person
A
County.
little bit closer.
Yeah, you're looking good. Just about dead on where you want to be. Think about where the pitch of the nose is. All right, set up. Good. There you go. That's the way to pull that nose up. 10 degrees of flaps. Looking good. Beginning to sink about 500 a minute. That's looking really good. Nose is pretty good where it needs to be. Maybe a tiny bit down. Make you turn to base leg. Now don't pull up.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
Remember, you want this ramp downhill because you don't have as much power in. You need the downhill to control speed.
Harness traffic, warrior 41669er on the 45 entry to downwind for 23, Harness. Let you go.
Nose down slightly. Good.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
Now, when you look out there, if your wingtips pointed at the end of the runway on base leg, it means you're actually flying away from the airport. Looking good. Very nice. Everything's coming together nicely, about 1,200 feet up, 600 above ground. That's pretty good. Now, here you got to be careful you don't let it sink out from under you, all right? If you see that happening, you got to fix it quickly as it crosses your mind.
Okay.
At the end of that runway's rising, you got to fix it. You can't play, you can't wait, you got to fix it. Coming in flat is very difficult to make good landings. Very difficult. Be done, but not by most amateurs. If you can come downhill at it, watch that airspeed. It's getting away from you again. 60, we're getting as slow as I want to be till the runway's under me. Now point it down a bit. See that wind just ballooned you?
Yep.
You got to catch that, and then you got to be ready for it to quit. So you're aiming where you want the plane to go. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. You got to, no, don't let it come up. Keep it coming down. You're way too high to be pitching up. Keep coming down. Keep coming, power all the way out. You're waiting for the runway to widen. You've got a little downdraft there. You got to fight it. Be ready. You got to let off a little bit. Be ready to pull again. The quicker you can see these changes, the less you have to react, the better. But you got to fix it.
First County, 542 Kilo is taking off runway 24, left traffic, First County.
Tiny bit of right foot, hardly enough to, right there, beautiful. Hardly enough to know you're pushing on it, but the egg didn't break, we're okay. Now keep your tip of your cowling up so you're climbing at about a 10-degree angle. You can use the attitude indicator to help you with that 10 if you want to. Or you can just put the tip of the cowling up on the horizon.
Does this vent work?
A little bit. The one beside your shoulder works.
Oh, this one. Oh, there you go. That helps.
Kilo, turning left base, runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning crosswind for runway 24.
Good. Yeah, you see how steady you're climbing? You're doing really good. Your descent ought to be the same way.
Okay.
You're making the adjustments as needed.
Oh, birds. Dang.
That's a bunch of them.
Holy moly, I've never seen that many at once. Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning downwind for runway 24.
And traffic at Person County, be advised there are a lot of buzzards about a mile off the end of the runway 24 Person on the departure end.
581 Kilo on final 24, Person County traffic.
It's too high. That's level.
542 Kilo, turning left crosswind.
Good.
Runway 24, Person County.
A little bit too far out.
It's not bad. It wouldn't want to be any wider, but you're not bad.
At least I know it when I do it.
That's right. That's it. That's the game. The game is to see it and fix it.
Probably say Warrior 41669. I'm sorry, Harnett County traffic, Warrior 41669, crosswind 23, Harnett.
Now, level flight till you're ready to start down. Remember, precision. It's hard to be precise flying, but you're always working to be. Good. 10 degrees of flaps. All right, make your base leg turn.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
I'm going to bring it right on around. About 20 degrees, the bank looks pretty good.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
Now, right now you're about dead on the slope, okay? The angle looks really good. You want to keep that slope, but you want to adjust the plane. You don't want it to dive in. You don't want the end of that runway to stand still or rise. It should be feeling like it's kind of just generally coming towards you, and you're paying attention to airspeed and drag. So now, as it slows down, you may have to put power back in on a windy day. Be ready for that. So airspeed is your blood. If you bleed out, you're dead.
I'm at 68.
Okay, so looking good. Keep your nose down. You're leveling out on me again. You're only coming down 200 feet a minute. You got to be coming to about 400 to 500. Looking good. Very nice, right there. Letting it sink in. Now don't pitch up yet. Subtle adjustments make a big difference in the speed. Now start. Now start. Now start. Now go to 3 stripes, 4 stripes. Go to 4 stripes. Power all the way out if it didn't. Work them as it comes up to you. Keep gradually working till you feel it touch. Now,
What did I do there?
the wind caught you.
Oh,
You got to fight that. So that's why I kicked it over,
Yeah.
but you can't shove the nose forward. If you shove the nose forward, you're going to go up on your wheelbarrow. You got to let the pitch stay about the same and drop the wing. There wasn't anything you did other than just getting where you're willing to fight that wind. So just like you're fighting it right now?
Yeah.
Same thing when you land.
Yeah. I got to just be ready for anything.
Well, I think for most people learning, I think it's a matter of they just aren't 100% sure they got it. And because they aren't, they don't know necessarily what to do. And the only way I know to fix that is do more and more of them.
Yep.
The more you see of them, the more you realize, hey, I got this, the better. And remember, if you're going out really flat at high speed, we're not getting the lift, we're not getting the altitude we need in case anything goes wrong. You know, optimum climb is 75 to 80.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic 581 kilos, short approach, runway 24, Person County traffic.
And the buzzards, just like that, went poof, they're gone.
Person County 5.2 kilos, clear runway 24, taxi back to 24, Person County.
There's the buzzard.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Coordinated. You don't use rudder to turn, use the wing to turn. The rudder just makes it smooth.
Hornet traffic Warrior 41669 is crosswind 23 Hornet.
Okay, I got the flight controls.
All right, what's going on?
I'm going to see if I can demo one for you. Sometimes resetting the picture helps.
Even on a day like today, you got 2 fingers on that thing.
That's all it takes. You guys just like to work hard.
I guess it's a psychological thing where you feel like you're safer if you hold on tighter.
Person County traffic 581 kilos.
That's true.
Dumb.
When I'm getting really deep turbulence, I'm holding on too.
I guess your idea of deep and mine is different.
Probably. I hope so.
A couple more years of experience will get you feeling differently.
Now, my guess is that the winds have picked up a little bit out here, and so when we're coming around and turning into the wind, we're seeing a tendency to drop out from under us, and if you're not careful, and this is where, you know, seeing the angle, seeing the pitch control, this is where the judgment comes into play.
All right.
Don't see anybody on a straight in. Person County 2 Papa Alpha turning final 2-4 person. So I'm watching my airspeed, my altitude's looking pretty good, the angle to the runway looks pretty good. We've been catching a little updraft on final here, so I'm going to kind of be ready for that. Keeping my speed decent, especially in turbulence. Now I'm on final, I'm looking for about 70. Bring my power back in a little bit, fight that little bump of turbulence there. A little bit high. Ooh. What goes up will come down. So we're doing about 70, looking good. Runway's coming up to meet me. Power coming all the way out. Working the nose up early to level, letting it settle in. Working the wind as needed.
Person County traffic 581 kilos, left downwind, runway 24, Person County traffic.
And that's about what you want it to look like.
Okay.
All right, you have the controls.
All right, my controls.
And I probably was just a little bit faster than I needed to be.
It looked fast to me, but I was, you know,
Well,
it seemed successful, so.
Well, I can tell you, especially on a bumpy day, as fast as you've got plenty of runway, your ground speed's slower because you're into the wind. So if you're a little faster, you got more safety. If you're trying to fly the 1.3, 1.4, you don't really have a whole lot of margin. It's the reason I don't really teach 1.3, 1.4, except when you get over the end of the runway. That's where you need to be. But prior to that, a little bit of speed is safety.
Person County traffic, 581 Kilo, doing a short approach runway 24, Person County traffic.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Valley City traffic, November 408 Bravo Lima, Diamond 40, 8-mile final on the VOR Alpha, low approach.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Hey, too much left rudder.
I am way the heck out here.
Oh, turn some more.
Person County 542 Kilo, turning left crosswind, runway 2.
You're angled way in at the moment. That's what you want. That's okay. Just is that what you need?
I just wanted to get closer,
Okay.
and that was too close.
No, you're fine. Now be careful. Think about the numbers. Think about where you are, how high you are. Low and slow is the most dangerous thing in aviation. High and fast is probably close second, but it's not near as dangerous as low and slow.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
Traffic, number 4, turning left crosswind to runway 8, Harnett.
Now, every time you pull up, we slow way down. If you need to pull up, then you need a lot of power.
Valley City traffic 408 Bravo Lima, 5 miles northwest on the VOR Alpha approach, low approach.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning final for runway 24.
Let's see. Harnett traffic over 747 Papa Kilo, left downwind, runway 23 Harnett.
So what do you see?
Person
Aye.
County
What you gonna do about it?
Kilo is turning
Full power.
base, runway 24, Person County.
All the power or just some of it?
Some of it.
Yeah, got to stay in the white arc on airspeed. You got more than 10 degrees of flaps in. That's a limitation.
Valley City traffic 408 Bravo Lima, 3 miles northwest, VOR.
Person County 542 Kilo on final to runway 24, Person County.
Remember, you can't let the nose go that way. You're already way over on that edge of the runway. The wings pull you sideways. Nose points down the runway. The rudders point down the runway.
I'm just not having a great day, am I?
Well, you're learning.
Person County traffic, 581.
Yeah, but yikes.
24, Person County.
Well, you know, it's a matter of deciding what you're going to have the plane do. And then deciding what it's going to take to make the plane do it.
Tower City traffic, 8 Bravo Lima, overflying the field, flying the VOR Alpha, will be flying the missed approach, 8 Bravo Lima.
Okay, you're doing pretty good on the climb outs. You just want the same consistency on the approaches.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Person County, 542 kilos, clear runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic, Cheetah 26717 is departing runway 24.
But think about altitude.
581 kilos.
Hit your targets.
For Person County traffic.
Plane check, chase 5 Mike, got left base for 23, full stop plane check.
Watch your pitch control. There you go. Okay, flaps. Good. Looking good.
Person County traffic, 581 kilos, turn left downwind.
Leave a little bit of power in and make your turn. Remember, the wind's pushing you away, so if you keep going long, every time we just got a long way to drive it back in, which doesn't help us any. But it could hurt us because we could now try to hang it up here and get too slow. Make your turn, keep coming around. You're not quite perpendicular, and the wind's pushing you away.
Person County traffic, Cheetah 717 is turning left crosswind runway 24 at Person.
Now, think about a straight in, long straight in to final. Angle looks fairly good, about 500 feet up, that's not bad. 500 or 600 feet right here is about normal.
Person County traffic, Cheetah 717 is departing pattern from big crosswind.
Just don't let the end of that runway rise. Don't want to hang it up here either, but you don't want the end of that rise. Keep your power up because you're going to need some of it to get there. Aim for the 1,000-foot point. Nose down just a smidge, right there.
Person County traffic.
Now, remember, feet point to nose, wings move you side to side over the runway. Bring it squared up here. Looking good. Still coming down. A little bit slow. Nose down slightly. Nose down. Nose down. Nose down, right there. Now, power out. Because once you got it made, all the power does is take you down the runway. Work your flare slowly, but work it. Working. Wait. See it balloon? You got to let off. So if you run out of all that energy that high up, that's where power makes a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're probably looking too close because you're continuing to pull up and when we're actually rising. So you probably need to move your vision further out ahead of the plane.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic, 581 kilos on the go, runway 24, going to be remaining in the pattern. Person County traffic.
Person County 542 kilos taking off runway 24, left traffic, Person County.
Okay, tell you what, let's do.
What are we going to do?
Let's go ahead and climb up to about 2,500, maybe 3,000. We'll see how it goes. So wide open.
Just keep going straight.
Yeah, straight will be fine. Now work those feet. Those feet are very, very important to you. Especially in turbulence. Because every time one wing makes a little more lift than the other, the nose wags.
Yeah.
Whether you induced it or whether it induced itself, the nose wags. And that's where your feet come in, is to not let the nose start to turn.
Zulu, Wilkesboro.
Okay, so we're looking for the nose down about 5 degrees of pitch up, not 10, because you want to see over it, right about there.
Okay.
See a little bit of horizon, but the nose is still up. And that should give you a speed around 85 to 90 in the climb.
We'll be circling in or left downwind runway.
And the angle right here is right there. That's 5.
Okay.
Person County traffic, 581 kilo, left downwind, runway 24, Person County traffic.
Let them know that I'm stepping away from the pattern.
Yep. And just tell them you're leaving the pattern eastbound.
Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is leaving the pattern headed east. Person County.
Person County 542 kilo, turning left crosswind, runway 24, Person County.
That way they won't be trying to, where'd he go? Where'd he go? I don't see him. Do you see him? No, I don't see him.
Trying to figure out what you got planned.
Oh,
I think I know.
You're trying to double guess the instructor?
I think I know. Gonna practice rudders, aren't we?
That's it.
I did it to myself, didn't I? Yeah. Having rudder problems.
Wilkesboro traffic, Archer 80926, 5 miles straight in ILS.
And we'll level at 3,000, it'll be fine.
All right.
Signal traffic, Liberty 485, 3 miles to the northwest on the VR Alpha. Going to be flying over the field, entering left downwind, runway 24, Brookneal.
All right, when you got it ready to fly, hands off.
Hands off.
Hands off, trimmed, not going up or down. Set your pitch control where it ought to be. Trimmed so you don't have any pressure in your hand.
Runway 24, Preston County.
You can't let it go up or down. All right, use your feet.
What do you want me to do?
Keep it going straight.
Oh. Okay.
That's all you got to do.
That's all.
That's it.
Shit.
No. Feet. There's a Dr. Seuss book. It's one of my favorites. Right foot, left foot, left. Feet in the morning, feet at night.
Hey. What about all this turbulence?
What about it? You're a half mile from anything you can hit.
I know, but
We're going to circle to land on 23.
There was an old TV show. I don't remember which one it was. Might have been Amos and Andy, which was two black guys back in the 50s.
I'm not going straight. No, I am.
And there was one episode there where something was going on, and the other one of them was saying, I know, but,
So, that green patch over there.
Yeah. Well, just whatever you want to pick.
Pointed to.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the ball. And
Don't worry about the ball.
The ball's telling me to push down on the right, and
That's going to turn you. The ball is for coordinated flight, not uncoordinated.
Okay.
When you're side slipping like the landing, you don't pay attention to the ball.
Okay.
The ball is for climbing in the pattern turns, but once you're lined up on final, the ball no longer matters.
Okay.
It matters if you're coordinated turning. It matters if you're specially climbing and turn base to final, that you keep the ball centered. But once we're lined up, then all we want to do is make the nose point down the runway.
Okay.
Which means whatever's straight ahead. The problem is with the turbulence, as we hit, one wing hits air up current, the other wing doesn't, or down currents, we rock and roll.
Yes, we do.
And so we can battle with it with our yoke. That would certainly work to solve the problem, but then the nose wallows all over the place. And so to fix the nose issue first and then worry about the ailerons. And we fix the nose issue by working our feet. The other thing you'll notice is, you know, when you're talking about me flying with two fingers, the plane's taking care of me. All I'm doing is giving it a little nudge here and there.
Our final runway 24, Brookneal.
Not much, yeah. A little bit might be okay.
It was
probably in an updraft, and we'll probably hit the downdraft before long and come right back down. And so you don't want to get in the habit of flying the airplane with trim.
okay.
Because once you do, you're chasing everything.
So should I just trust that what goes up goes down?
Yes. As long as you're not right over the runway.
Okay.
When you're right over the runway, you have no choice but to control. But up here, you work yourself in a frenzy if you fly like this for a couple of hours and fight every little bump that happens.
You think I'm pretty straight?
Yeah, right now you're doing fine.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, because I think I am, but
Yeah, you're doing good. And remember, the plane is trimmed for an airspeed, so if the nose drops, it's going to pick up speed. As it does, the nose will come back up. Conversely, the opposite will happen. If you pitch up and don't put back pressure on it, it's going to slow down and pitch back over.
I mean, we're at 34, is that okay?
Yep. All right, now use your hands and feet, turn around, head back the other way.
Okay.
So now it's a coordinated turn.
Mile and a half before circling.
Siler City traffic, runway 22 Lima. Base leg for 22, Siler City.
Siler City traffic, A Bravo Lima is crossing midfield. We'll be entering left downwind, runway 22.
And 22 Lima is turning final for 22 Siler City, and we got the traffic in sight.
All right, that big open field way out in front of you is the airport. Just keep us headed in that direction. With your feet.
With my feet?
With your feet.
We're going to fly over the airport?
Yeah, maybe. Right foot, don't let it turn. Airport's right over there.
Right. Is this how you fly your jet?
In the jet, you don't really use your feet.
Using autopilot.
Well, even if you're hand flying, the design of the ailerons creates adverse drag on the wing that's making the least amount of lift, which counterbalances the wing making the most lift. And your feet really don't do much in a jet till you're landing. Once you're coming in on short final, then your feet become pretty important.
Okay.
Traffic bearing 11.
Should we make any announcement, you think?
Right now we're about 7 or 8 miles out. As long as we don't hear somebody else saying they're making an instrument approach in, we're not quite lined up on the runway, so we ought to be in, even if they are, in good place.
Okay.
Crosswind 31. Blue Ridge, downwind 14, Foxtrot, Blue Ridge.
There you go. Doing good. Person County, 2 Papa Alpha, 5 mile final for 2-4 person.
Surf traffic got a pack about 4 miles to the north of the field, about landing runway 77.
Say 4 miles?
Yeah, about that, 4 or 5.
He should be right in front of us.
No, you said Siler City.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But that's paying attention. That's what you want to be doing, is listening to.
542 kilos, taxi back to the ramp off the runway 24, First County.
Okay, so when you're doing these long straight ends, which you've probably done some of.
Yep.
You basically, once you get in a point where that angle to the runway looks good, then you want to start pitching over. So you go back and using your hands and feet.
Okay.
Line up on the runway. We're still a ways out to be actually setting up too much, but we do want to start down. If you pitch over and you see the end of that thing rising, it means you've over pitched. So your subtle pitch, about 500 feet a minute, usually is about right. But what we don't want to do is come up short. We got plenty of speed.
Back left base, runway 77.
So at some point we'll get in about a third more, and then we're going to start to slow down.
Okay.
We're going to drive a controller to big airport nuts, slow down to 70, about 3 miles out.
Trust me, when you're at RDU, they're telling you how to breathe.
Yep. Keep your speed up, keep your speed up. Okay, so now we're back looking pretty good. Tiny bit high. Angle looks okay, so we've now got to start slowing down. So carb heat. And power back to about 70 to 1700 or so. And aim the plane. Right now I see the end of that runway rising. Right there. You see how subtle that adjustment was? That's all it takes. Now, don't want to pull too much power out because we don't want to get too slow this far out. And we definitely don't want to get low and slow. Right now you're a little fast, but that's going to work out all right.
Traffic activity 45, departing to the northeast. Final call, Brittany.
All right, so now we want to start to pull the power back a little bit. We got the carb heat out, nose up just a tiny bit, we'll get 1 notch of flaps in. At the speed we're going, they're going to really pitch you, so don't let them. Good. Now, at this point, we should start to see the airspeed bleeding off. Nose up just a tiny bit. As you start to slow down, the pitch has to adjust just a little bit because of the ground speed.
Okay.
And that, of course, helps you with the airspeed. Feel it all of a sudden start to settle. Okay, so you see everything rising. So pitch up slightly and maybe bring your power back up just a little bit. Altitude looks pretty good. This is about where we normally would be on turning final. So pitch up just a hair. Right there. Hardly enough to notice. It's not really enough to level out. It's just enough to slow this down a tiny bit. Now, power back up to 17 because of the wind. If we didn't have wind, what you're doing would be really good. With the wind, it's going to take extra power.
Okay.
Now again, 1,000 foot, you want the end of the runway coming towards you and under. The 1,000 foot to stay still. I don't see anybody on the far end. I don't see anybody on the taxiway at the moment. So we should have this runway to ourselves. Speed is 70, looking good. Now put your flaps in. Lower your nose just a tiny bit so you don't hang it up here. Lower it on over. And that's because of the flaps. So pitch over a little bit more. Very nice. Looking good. Pitch over and power back a little bit. Work for the center line with your feet. Point the nose down the runway. Use your wings. Pitch. Keep your nose down so those 1,000 foot blocks are staying pretty still coming towards you. Looking good. Power coming out. We're over the runway. Don't need power anymore. Start to round out slowly, slowly, slowly. Look about 4 to 5 stripes ahead, way on down the runway. There you go.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I looked farther.
And it worked.
It helped.
I wasn't holding on. Well, I was holding on to the strap, but that's beside the point. Right foot. I'm kidding. Right foot and wide open. You got it. Work your hands and feet. Feet going sideways.
Yeah.
Have it controls for a second.
Am I supposed to be okay with this?
Yeah. What
Yeah.
I'm showing you is that with the nose pointed, how much we can pull across the runway.
Okay.
And we got plenty of speed, so we can now go uphill. So I didn't let the nose turn with my feet.
I know, but we were pretty sideways.
Oh yeah, fun, wasn't it? You have the controls.
As long as you're in control, it was fun. Yeah.
Tell you the joke about the city slicker had the flat tire up in the mountains and he was busy changing. He heard all this commotion in the brush. He looked up, came down through the brush, was an old mountain man, his bibbed overalls. In one hand he had a double barrel shotgun, the other hand he had a jug. He got stopped, pointed the gun at the city slicker and he said, "Take a drink." City slicker, of course, he's scared not to, so he turned that jug up, took a big gulp. He came to about 5 minutes later, had the shakes, took him another 5 minutes to be able to stand up. The old mountain man said, "Good, won't it? Now hold the gun on me and make me drink."
Jeez. Is that one of those West Virginia jokes?
Yeah. Or Mississippi or somewhere.
You're not from West Virginia.
Nope. On the other hand, we are right on the edge of moonshine country. You go back during the height of the moonshine era, a lot of it was made between here and the mountains.
Really?
A lot of it. That's where NASCAR got started. The guys who would run the moonshine Saturday afternoon, they'd race around the dirt track side who had the fastest car. Then they realized that people wanted to come watch them do it.
Slightly less, slightly out a little bit. Inch my way back. A little bit high now. Calling out all my mistakes as I make them.
That's okay. Good.
It's bumpy. Seems like it was smoother up top. Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning base for runway 24, Person County. I didn't do flaps. Person County traffic 172 Papa Alpha is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
Also, on a windy day, you don't want to try to land right on the end of the runway, because if you misjudge, hit a wind shear at the wrong time, we're going to be short.
Roger that.
And not to mention, it's easier if you're coming down than it is if you're dragging it in with power.
True.
The more you can rotate in that flare, the easier it is to work it into a good landing. The shallow rotation, because you've already used up half of it, makes landing flat, coming in flat, really tough, especially on a bumpy day. That's pretty good.
I thought so.
All right, show me another one.
All right. That's the curse.
All right, show me two more.
Just don't say anything. It's becoming natural for me.
First Character 542 kilos, taxiing runway 24, left traffic, first count.
I assume you don't have anybody after me?
I do have somebody after you.
What time?
3 o'clock.
Oh snap, this will be the last one. I'm okay with that.
You got about 2 more.
We can do one more.
Maybe 3.
What are you doing? It's quarter
Speed you up.
It's quarter till 3.
Well, that ought to be 2 at least.
Person County traffic, 172 Papa Alpha is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
I did tell you that all good instructors have a little bit of a sadistic streak in them, didn't I?
Oh, I know that. I don't have to say that twice.
SoCal might begin crosswind for 2300.
Person County traffic, 172 Papa Alpha is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County. So when you have a lesson at 3 o'clock, do you go all the way till sunset?
It depends on the student. Usually about an hour and a half in the air is for people who are still haven't soloed. It's about all that mentally they start to get worn out.
You're talking about me, right?
No, not in particular. You're actually doing pretty good. It's just, you know, it takes... People don't realize they get mentally tired by how hard they're focusing.
Oh, I know. I will sleep tonight.
Okay, so not quite so wide on base leg. Turn in tighter than you've been doing.
Okay. Person County traffic, 172 Papa Alpha is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
Keep bringing it around. You're doing good, but you got to turn.
Gosh, did you see that bird? Whew.
Every time you're getting out about 1.5 miles, and you really want to be in a little, not a huge amount tighter, but a little bit.
Okay.
Because when you get this far out, if you're not really paying attention, it's very easy to get way too low. And then comes too slow. And that combination gets people very...
Person County traffic, 172 Papa Alpha is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
Every so often that combination gets somebody killed because they don't recover from it correctly. Yeah, you're about good place. Yeah, you can start to angle over. And you'll need about 500 feet a minute down. Good. Nose over a little more. Good. Feel it balloon, pitch down, and adjust power as needed. High wing down ever so slightly. High wing down. Work your flare. High wing down. Right foot.
It wasn't centered at all.
And that's because the wind's now over from my side where it was from your side.
Person County, Archer 542 Kilo, taking off runway 24, left traffic, Person County.
I know, I did the...
You had a good landing though, I didn't touch it.
I know, and I fixed it.
But you gotta make it go that way.
Whoa, snap. That was a down burst or something.
No, that was a pitch the nose over too low.
So that was human.
That was human induced.
I can't blame the wind?
Nope. I mean, you can try. Everybody needs a good excuse.
I remember one time, I forgot what kind of jet it was, 737 probably, I don't even know where I was going, but I know that the pilot made a really bad landing. Bounced. Second time he bounced, all the oxygen masks came out.
That's not good.
Everybody screamed.
Rather embarrassing.
Person County traffic, 172 Papa Alpha is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Not to mention maintenance loves him after that.
Yeah.
Because they got to put all the oxygen masks back up.
Don't they just snap back in?
To some degree. I don't know exactly how the passenger ones work.
Rockland traffic, Skyhawk 713 Lemming uniform. We're 6 miles up north of the airport, inbound for runway 24. We're going to circle, fly over, and then circle back for 24. Broke now.
Person County, 542 Kilo, turning left crosswind, runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic, 172 Papa Alpha is downwind for runway 24, Person County.
But don't lose altitude needlessly. Remember, until you get slowed up a bit, you're just giving up altitude. Flaps and turn. Smooth.
Person County traffic, 172 Papa Alpha is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
Just a tiny, not bad by any means, but on a bumpy day, maybe a tiny bit low. Just be careful. Just keep things thinking about what you see going on, work it to your advantage. Now, straddle the center line.
Broken traffic, Skyhawk 713, leaving uniform 3 miles away from the airport north, inbound for pattern work, runway 24. We're going to fly over and come in for left downwind for 24 over up now.
First County, Archer 542 kilos, turning left base, runway 2.
Now, don't let his speed bleed off. You gotta have that lifeblood. And pitch over, you want to keep coming down. The power will make you balloon. All you want the power to do is pick up your airspeed a bit. Keep your nose down, nose down, nose down, nose down. Okay, so wing down, pulls us sideways. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for that. That's it, right?
I don't know where that other guy is, so we'll roll on down to the far end.
How do you not know?
I don't know where he went.
Oh, he was over there?
No, I'm talking about your airplane.
Kilos, turning final, runway 24.
Hear
Oh,
that
the
plane
guy.
turning final?
Yeah, he's behind us.
All right, so we want to keep it rolling.
Okay.
And 2 Papa Alpha's going to expedite off the runway at person. And I'm holding the wing down because the wind blowing crosswind, especially as we pick up speed to get down the runway, will create lift. Yeah, little brakes, slow her down and make you turn. You got it.
Archer 542 kilos, just want to go around. Let's try.
Yeah, no problem. All right, we'll put her back over on a normal tie down.
Okay.
First County, Archer 542 kilos, left crossing, runway 24, First County.
All right, there you go.
Where's the other one?
In the hangar. Got a bad alternator.